What's up everybody, Trevor here, and in this week's video we're going to talk about why e-commerce and the e-commerce industry is one of the best industries to start a business in 2023, especially for beginners and people that are just starting a business for the first time. It is one of the best industries, and I'm going to give you 5 reasons why. If you're debating on starting a business, e-commerce is an industry that may be something you should consider. So let's start off with point number one. Number one is going to be leverage. Now, when I say leverage, a lot of people that are into business or know anything about business automatically think real estate, borrowing money, and like utilizing capital that you don't have. But we're going to talk about leverage based on the internet. So the internet is something that you can leverage compared to if you're to buy real estate. You can only visit a ton of properties in one day or in a specific area or state. You can't just you can't just see every single listing in the United States just by just looking at Zillow, because it's just impossible. But with e-commerce, you can reach all customers around your whole country. So if you live in the US, the entire country, you can potentially sell to everybody that has access to internet. And if you have access to internet, and you're watching this video, then you could be potentially one of my customers or a customer that shops online. So with that being said, leverage is going to be number one, and it's very, very powerful compared to if you were to start a brick and mortar business where you can only reach specific people in your city, and if it only has 50,000 people, then you're only capped to that. You could make a good business for yourself within that city, but the potential to scale is capped. And then at that point, with that specific business model, like a brick and mortar business, you have to scale to multiple locations. You have to do franchising, and it's just a different game. But with e-commerce, you have one website, one store online, and you can sell to everyone that your supplier or where your manufacturer makes a product ships to. That's potentially a customer, because you can advertise in those countries, states, cities, and whatnot. So that was number one. Number two big benefit of e-commerce is going to be skills learned. Now, there's obviously a lot of businesses out there. Okay, actually, we just paused the video because there was a abandoned checkout on my e-commerce website and e-commerce business, and well, here we go. Doesn't get any more real than this. We just got a sale for if the camera will focus, 2.44K. Nothing to sneeze at. Probably make about $800-$750 profit. So that's a great start to this part of the video. So we were talking about skills learned, and with e-commerce businesses, the skills that we learn are a ton. Like if we were to start a brick and mortar business, you would need to, like a restaurant, you would need to know inventory management. You have to train train employees, managers. You have to know a lot of things in business. That's just the ones that I could come up right now, but there's different skill sets. Now with those skill sets, those apply if you were just to suddenly stop running a business or that restaurant. You can apply those skill sets to another business, but depending on what skills, you have more options to choose from, and more valuable skills that are worth more, have more potential to make you more money. So with e-commerce, there are some certain skills that are very, very, very valuable that you'll learn within your journey. One is going to be email marketing. So this is if you were to own a customer base, emails and email newsletters is something to interact with them. Get them back to the website, bring them back if they abandon checkout for whatever reason. Try to get them, push them down the buyer funnel and complete that purchase. So that's the entire purpose of email marketing. And then the second skill is going to be digital marketing. This is usually paid advertisements. This means running ads on social platforms, search engines. For our specific business, we mainly use Google, and Google is going to be a skill or Google Ads is a skill that you learn over time, you get better at. And not only is this skill applicable to your own business, but if you were to start an agency, for example, you can apply the same skills to help other business owners, drive sales for the business using digital marketing and what you learn when you're running your website. Obviously, if you're not good at it, don't sell your services because you're going to just get really angry clients. So that is something for you to know beforehand. Okay, so number 3 is going to be Photoshop. Now, this doesn't apply to every single e-commerce business. My very first e-commerce business did require me to learn how to use Photoshop, and those skills stuck with me ever since. And I believe Photoshop is a skill, or using Photoshop is a relatively good skill to have. You can make thumbnails. In the world of digital media, Photoshop is just absolutely one of the tools that a lot of creators use. So I don't think it's gonna go away soon because there's new competitors like making Photoshop alternatives. So it just shows like the demand for Photoshop is there. So with that being said, let's go on to the another skills. They're not in any particular order or anything, but we have sales. So with e-commerce, you learn how to do sales. Now, if you were to interact with customers, this is considered sales. If you call customers, you get them convert into a customer, it's sales. Now, e-commerce sales is usually not as in-depth as in doing car sales, but it kind of depends on how expensive items are. Earlier in this video, you saw me sell a $2,400 item, and with that, I didn't really have to do sales. They just bought there, but they called afterwards to see if I had some other items on our website, and then I just told them that. So sales in e-commerce is not too difficult, but if you get good at e-commerce sales, it can definitely, if you sell high expensive items that are worth your time, it can make you a lot of money. So these e-commerce sales skills, I wouldn't say they're definitely applicable to regular sales, but they're just different because the customers are coming to you versus if you were to do cold outreach. As a different type of sales. You go to cold prospects that have never heard of your product or service and try to sell to them. The way of sales that we do in our e-commerce business is warm lead sales, meaning people go to our website after they search what they really want, and then it's our job to get them to convert and make that purchase either by providing extra value in terms of gifts, coupon codes, or white glove delivery, or any of the above or below, or anything like that. So these are very useful skills that you learn in e-commerce. And the last 2 skills are going to be operations and running a team. These are, with any business you learn these, but with e-commerce, you learn to, build out your team and operations online, which if you were to start another online business, it's just going to be useful as well. So just want to throw that in there. So on to point number 3, the pro of why you should start e-commerce. It's going to be low capital required. So e-commerce is relatively inexpensive to start. If you were to buy a franchise, I don't know the exact value, but I would say it's like mid-high to low 6 figures up from capital needed just for that franchise. And if you were to not buy a franchise, I don't know how much, probably costs $200,000 or more, give or take. But with e-commerce, you really only need a couple $1,000s. I started my first website with a few hundred. My current website started with a few thousand to start the whole site up and get it running with ads, suppliers, and leads coming in. But realistically, the barrier entry, a couple $1,000, you can save that in a month working at your job, and there you go. You can start an e-commerce business. So with low capital required, it does mean more people are able to do it. And I wouldn't say that creates more competition, because competition is only going to impact you if you're not, if you're doing what everyone else is doing. If you find a way to make your offer unique and stand out in the marketplace, then you shouldn't be afraid of competition. Your offer trumps everybody else's offer. So And then point number 4, so we have one more after this one, it's going to be that this can definitely give you the laptop lifestyle. I don't really like to put this on the list, but I just wanted to make it 5. So I'm really sorry that I had to put this on this. If you don't like me shoving like this guru stuff, I'm not really a guru, but you can definitely live a laptop lifestyle, because I've traveled and I run my entire business off my laptop, in my phone. And since my employees are remote across the country, really don't have to meet them in person or go into office, because e-commerce is all online. You can essentially run your business on a beach, but I've never seen anybody really do it that way. So with that being said, yeah. So number 5 is going to be exit value. So what e-commerce business is, if your business is making $10,000 profit every single month, you can turn around and sell that for 30-40x of a multiple, meaning $300,000 to $400,000 as a cash out. And this is very huge if you were to sell a business, because as I said in the past video, 50% of a business's entire lifetime income is made with an exit. So it means if your business makes $100,000 per year, you can get a ton of that lifetime income just with an exit. That's a general rule of thumb, but it does fluctuate the percentage depending on the industry and all other factors. So being able to sell a business, like, you can get 30-40x multiple on e-commerce business. I don't know what retail stores get, but I don't believe they're more than e-commerce businesses. So with that being said, those are the pros of why you should get into e-commerce 2023. It's a great industry to get into, a lot of skills learned, a lot of pros, and then you can use those skills. If it doesn't work out for you, that's absolutely fine. You can use those skills and transfer into something that's you like, and might give you a better chance of success. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I'll see you in the next one.